Hey everybody, you want to learn how to use props? I'm going to share with you my take on props. I just loaded my desk up with all these props, and I'm going to share with you each one individually, okay? The first one I'm going to start with, I think is the best one, is the cell phone, all right? Now, I often suggest that you put a cell phone charger on your desk. This happens to be line 5. I received it at an F&I Summit, okay? And what the cell phone charger does allows the customer, when they sit in your office, because most customers will come in with a cell phone in their hand, okay? And they'll place it on your desk and give them this charger. So they're able to charge the cell phone while they're sitting at your desk. And tell them, here's a charger, charge your cell phone while you're sitting at my desk, and I'll explain all the paperwork to you, and I'll go over the transfer of ownership and review the options that are available to you. And then you start your presentation. Hey, it's me, Gerry Gould. So you want to become an F&I manager? Well, I got news for you. I'm hosting a free, completely free webinar on F&I tips, tactics, and techniques. I'll even share with you some ideas on how to go from a sales consultant into F&I. Join us April 25th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll share with you those tips, tactics, and techniques. If you want to become an F&I manager, join us on that webinar. All you got to do is hit the link below to register. I'll see you there. Meanwhile, the prop, the cell phone, is sitting right on your desk. And why do I use a cell phone? Because you'll find that most people have a cell phone case. This one doesn't happen to have one, okay? But my other cell phone does, because I use this in my office. I don't need a case. But most customers will have a screen protector, and then you can ask them if they have insurance on their phone, and you simply look at them and say, I don't get it. You have 3 levels of protection, or 2 levels of protection, a case, a screen protector, and then insurance. But here you are buying a $40,000 vehicle, and you're not protecting it at all. I don't get it. That's a prop that you can use. You can also use a cell phone or a calculator to drive it to the money. Everybody is comfortable with the base payment going into, most people are comfortable with the base payment going into F&I. Some people have struggled with the base payment out on the sales floor. I only wanted to spend $300. I'm coming in here spending $500. I get it, okay? But they committed to the $400, $500, $600. Let's take $600 for an example. What does $600 really mean? When you look at it, there's a different way of looking at it. There may be another way of looking at it. I often say that. That's to get the customer thinking. Oftentimes when the customer says, no, I don't want any of that, or I don't want to spend the extra money, look right at them and say, you know what, I get it. I've had other customers feel the same way. It all comes down to money. I get it. You don't see enough value. But there may be another way of looking at it. Do you mind if I share something with you? Is that your cell phone? Obviously it is. You place it on the desk. It's in the charger. Do me a favor. Unplug it from the charger for a moment and go to your calculator in your cell phone. Or use your calculator, a nice small calculator, and hand it to the customer. And I say, I want to share something with you, okay? As I mentioned, there may be another way of looking at it. So you're at $600 a month without any protection, right? The customer says, yep, I'm $600 a month without any protection. All right, I got an idea, okay? Let's take 600, all right? Add it into the calculator, 600, and divide that by 30. 30 is the average days in a month. What do you got? Customer looks at it and he says, $20. So you're committed to spend $20 a day for the car without any protection. And you're okay with that. I bet you never looked at it that way. You look at it as $600 a month, because most people budget monthly and they spend daily. Wouldn't you agree? Well, what do you mean? Well, I mean that you have enough money in the bank to pay the $600 payment every month. You also have enough money to pay your rent, a mortgage, or any other bills that you have, put food on the table, so on and so forth. And I get it. Some people live paycheck to paycheck. But the fact is, nearly everybody, I think 99% of the world, spends daily for lunch, pack of gum, a Coke, a Red Bull, whatever, okay? Lottery tickets. So what you do is you take the $20 a day they spend, you remind them you're spending $20 a day, that's in the bank, don't have to worry about that. But you still run around every day with money in your pocket or an ATM card, right? Spending daily. I, on average, spend between $5 and $10 a day. How much do you spend, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, on average? And Mr. Jones looked at it and says, I spend about $10 or $15. If you're in New York City, they say I spend about $40 or $50 a day. Okay, so you spend 10 to 15, that's what we call income, disposable income. So you actually have budgeted money in the bank every month, but you still have disposable income. All right, now, what are you most interested in the products that I just shared with you if money were an issue? And the customer says, well, probably the service contract. I get it, that's $30 a month. $630 is a lot of money on the surface, but you're already spending $20 a day. Let's take $30, lay that out, $30 divided by 30 equals, customer says $1. Now they have the cell phone or the calculator in their hand, and you simply look at them and say, is $1 a day going to change your lifestyle in any way, shape, or manner? And the customer looks at it and he says, no, not at all. And you simply say to them, so what's $21 a day to have what you want? Have that protection if your vehicle were to break down, or have the protection if you get a flat tire or bend a rim, or get a ding or dent, or get a chip or crack windshield, or lose your keys, or have a total loss. Doesn't it make sense for that $1 or $2 or $3 a day, where you're already spending $5 to $10 a day, to have that coverage? Customer's going to look at you and say, man, that's ridiculous, sign me up. So that's how you use these two props. And then there's the stapler, okay? This came along several years ago. I think it's a really unique, these are common items that are sitting on your desk. Remember the cell phone charger, the cell phone, your calculator. How about the stapler? This is the combustion engine. This is an example of a combustion engine. It's been mastered through the years. You simply put staples in it and it runs. You simply put gas and oil in it and it runs. The challenge we have today is with all the technology in vehicles, it takes more than just gas and oil. And there's no wires and all these modules and all these sensors and all these semiconductors. Okay, we've all heard of semiconductors. See, what it takes now to run this stapler or this vehicle is a cell phone. And you simply place the cell phone in there. And you look at the customer, hold them up and say, which is likely to break first? The cell phone or the stapler? Most customers are going to say the stapler. You just convince them to buy a service contract. That's absolutely right, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. With all the technology in these vehicles today, and the time you're going to own it, and the miles you're going to put on it, doesn't it make sense to enroll in the service contract? Knowing all that technology, all those semiconductors, all those modules. So that's how you use the cell phone with the stapler. All right, so what else do I got here? Okay. Oh, this is crazy, okay? I have these dice, all right? You don't want to gamble with your future. Why do you want to gamble? When someone says to you at the end of your presentation, take my chances. You know what they're really saying? They say a risk. And you look at them and you say, so if by saying you'll take your chances, I'm assuming that you do see somewhat of risk. And the customer may say to you, well, no, it's not going to break down. Nothing's going to happen to me. Well, there's more to it than that. I get it. You have a warranty and you're buying this car for its liability. But what about road conditions? What about people's driving habits, so on and so forth? You know, there's where the risk is involved and the way other people treat your property. Why would you want to take that risk? Don't gamble with your future. So use the dice. All right, so then there's this, let's get back to the cell phone. I have this, okay? This is a wooden car that I bought at Lowe's. So I was Christmas shopping for my grandchildren and I came across a kiosk, and on the kiosk it had all these models that you could build. Balsa wood, all this wood. And I noticed this car and I said to myself, man, that would make a really decent prop, right? And what I did was I simply placed the cell phone on top of it and say, that's what it takes to drive your car today. It's not just this anymore. You know, people powertrain. I have powertrain coverage for 10 years, 100,000 miles on a Honda or a Kia or anything else. 5 years, 60,000 miles on every other car. The fact of the matter is the powertrain protects the manufacturer. Why I say that is because if you don't maintain the vehicle according to the manufacturer's recommendation, they're not going to fix it anyways. And what's the likelihood of something that's being maintained by you every 5,000, 7,000, every 10,000 miles to break down? I mean, let's face it, when was the last time you oiled your radio? All right. So you can use this prop, a little investment, go to Lowe's and grab this and only put half of it together. Don't put the whole car together. And then it carries the cell phone. There's another prop that you can use. All right, so I have a light bulb. A light bulb. What's a light bulb for? I got an idea. No, seriously. So I learned this from Ron Rehard, okay? He shared this with me many, many years ago. It's really cool. I mean, have a light bulb in your desk. The only time a light bulb goes out is when you turn it on. While it's on, it never goes out. The fact of the matter is, you can't repair light bulbs. You have to replace them. That internal component inside this light bulb is basically your powertrain. And once it blows, man. All right? So it's not that I have an idea. It's that this is to prove, or this is to illustrate the difference between a mechanic and a technician. Because we don't have mechanics anymore. And you tell people that we don't have mechanics anymore. What we have is technicians. Mechanics fix things. Technicians replace things. And technicians replace the light bulb, okay? So there's that prop. And then I have, oftentimes I'll use my pen as a prop, okay? Especially these pens, the mechanical pens, because the only thing that's covered on the powertrain coverage is what's inside the pen, okay? Nothing outside the pen. I mean, look around. Look at my office. Look at all this stuff. Nothing is covered except inside this pen. Anything outside the pen is not covered. That's just an illustration of powertrain coverage. It's a crazy illustration, but let me tell you something. It works, especially with engineers, because they designed the pen. All right, so what else do I have? Oh, this is cool, right? So I was in Hobby Lobby one time, again, shopping for my grandchildren, and I came across this windmill timer. And I said to myself, my God, that's awesome. I can use that to illustrate powertrain coverage. Because everybody said, you know, what's your understanding of the factory warranty? Well, I have 5 years of 60,000 miles. Well, you really don't have 5 years of 60,000 miles on all the components. You only have 5 years of 60,000 miles on the powertrain. And what's the likelihood of something that's lubricated, okay? Lubricated to break down? It's the technology that you got to worry about, all right? So which is more likely to break down first? This or this? This, you're absolutely right, okay? And by the way, the cell phone's going to break down. I screwed that one up. I said, oh, the stapler's going to break down. Stapler never breaks down, okay? I just caught myself. It's the cell phone that's going to break down. Let me do that one more time, all right? Which is likely to break down, the cell phone or the stapler? Oh, the cell phone. That's right, because of all the technology. They actually slow down after a while. You know, you talk about computers, common items. You buy a computer and you're out there and you open the box and next thing you know, to put it on and it's like lightning speed. Everything's all set up. And then 2 years later, it's like you're searching for a new computer or you're trying to get some software to speed it up because things slow down. The unique thing about automobiles today, and I don't know if many of you are aware of this, but there's satellites out there that actually repair vehicles. Seriously. And there's satellites out there that will address recall issues and send emails and letters out to customers who purchase vehicles and supply the parts to the local dealer so they have it in stock, and they send a letter to the customer and they basically send an appointment up and they have the part in stock. Satellite. You know, all these semiconductors and these modules, that's how they work. The other thing that you have is advanced technology actually speaks to these satellites. Your insurance company gets the information, your loan company gets the information, the manufacturer gets the information, your local dealer or the dealer you bought the vehicle from. Talk about these things because it's all about the technology. All right, so I have this golf ball right here. The golf ball, what does this represent? All right, so as you can see, the golf ball has a porous surface, and that's what you explain to the customer, that your painted surface is like a golf ball. It's porous, it's not flat. And acid rain, how does your car get acid rain? Well, look at it this way. Okay, I spent a lot of time in Pittsburgh, and all the industrial fallout in Pittsburgh goes all over the country, especially in Florida. It ends up in Florida, and in the morning, the clouds are out there, and the dew, all that industrial fallout, you can't see it, lands on your car, and then in the morning, your car is kind of wet, and then the sun comes out and dries that industrial fallout into your vehicle, and that's what they call acid rain. So what the fabric and paint treatment does, or especially the paint treatment, will seal up those pores so the acid rain's unable to get in there. That's how it works. So use the golf ball as a prop. You can also get this shopping cart, this mini shopping cart from your agent partners. I like to call them partners because they're coming in and they're sharing this information with you. And what you do is you have it on your desk. Keep your cards in it or keep a key in there, a key with a price tag on it, and explain to the customer how expensive it is to repair those programmable keys, the key fobs. And then remind them, the reason I keep this on my desk is to remind me when I go into a parking lot, especially a Piggly Wiggly parking lot, those shopping carts are all over the place, all right? And they run into your car and put a ding and dent in, and I have a remedy for that, paintless dent removal. So you can use that as well. Then I have another common item. This would be a thermos, okay? And the only thing that's covered in powertrain coverage is a straw, all right? This part of the straw is not covered. So everything in here, all the liquid, let's call that oil, that's covering the straw, all right? It's just another illustration. You can also put a bunch of little dings and dents in your thermos that you have on your desk and then share with the customer. They're aluminum bodies, just like this thermos. And if my thermos got all these minor dings and dents in my office, just imagine your vehicle out there in the elements. What else do I have here? I have this little toy that I bought, okay? I bought this in Target. Once again, shopping for my grandchildren. And this shows, you know, the powertrain coverage. It's rotary. You can run it across your desk. And it just shows that the only thing that's covered for the longest period of time, I know I'm spending a lot of time on service contracts, but it also works for tire and wheel. Because when you get a flat tire, it's going to cost you a lot of money to replace those low profile tires and wheels, all right? So you can use this as a prop too. You got to do a little research. You got to go out there and do a little shopping, but all these things work. All right, so then there's the fabric and paint treatment companies that you use give you what they call a swatch. And what you do is you have a cup of coffee or a Coke on your desk, a little swizzle stick, and you share with the customer the treated and untreated side. So you show them treated and you show them untreated side. And they say, wow, I can't believe it. Because on the treated side, you just wipe it right off. But on the untreated side, it spreads all across. And that's how the fabric works, the fabric treatment works. What else do I got? Oh, I got my can of Goya beans, all right? That means Goya, get off your ass, okay? And go out and buy these props, okay? And learn how to use them. You don't want to make your desk look like Sanford & Sons, okay? Like behind me. You want to have these props accessible. I often say keep brochures hidden. You can use the brochures as props, develop an evidence manual. I share with you a number of illustrations all the time on technology and semiconductors, radar in your vehicle, pedestrian sensors, stop sign sensors, rear view cameras, all these things, all this technology, okay? When it goes bad, it's expensive to repair. So what else do I have here? I think I went through most of the props I have on here. One other thing I wanted to share with you, I share with in a video, this right here, this is what we call the thumb ball. Now this one isn't set up yet, but what you do is you get a little soccer ball and you place all the objections that a customer would give you after your presentation, and you throw the ball around to every one of your sales staff or every one of your F&I managers or your F&I director, and whatever lands on the thumb, for example, this one says, do I have to let you know now? And you ask them, how would you address that? Do I have to let you know now? And do I have to let you know now? No, you don't have to let me know now, but obviously you wouldn't ask me that question if you weren't somewhat interested in the program now, right? And the customer goes, yeah, I'm interested in it. Well, you probably have some unanswered questions. Let me go into a little bit more detail about the program. Whatever program they're most interested in, whether it's tire and wheel or service contract, then you can pull out a brochure and show them all the features and benefits they'll gain by enrolling in the program. So you have this little ball right here. Throw that right there. And then, what else do I have here? Oh, this is really cool too. I mentioned I was in the Pittsburgh airport on my way to a client, and I noticed this Pittsburgh pothole filler. Now, Sarah's Candy is a big name in Pittsburgh. So I grabbed about 10 boxes of these and I handed them out to all the F&I managers that I know in the Pittsburgh area. And they use it to sell, guess what? Tire and wheel. Exactly. So all these props work. All you got to do is do a little bit of research. I don't know what else to tell you. What else do I got? I don't think I have anything else. I think I used everything. Let me take a look up there. Oh, I have a little joke for you, okay? Here's a jar of jacks, right? Now, if you can guess how many jacks are in this jar, I'll send you $100. I'm kidding. I often say, how many jacks are in the jar? Someone will look at it and say, I don't know, what, 32? And you look at it and say, you just said 32 jacks are in this jar? Wow, you're only one jack off. You gotta have fun, man. This is a little piggy, all right? Because that's what your car is, okay? It's a pig when it comes to repairs. It's a pig when it comes to replacing tire and wheel. It's a pig when you have to replace a windshield. It's a pig when you get a ding or dent. It's a pig when you lose your keys, okay? These are all the props that I have. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed my take on props. If you like what you heard, come see us at productprep.com, www.prodprep.com. Listen, we got a lot of information there, over hundreds of hours of video for sales, sales management, and F&I. Whether you're new to F&I or you're a veteran, come join the fun, okay? Until next time, go get them.